Well, welcome to this episode of Granite Channels Champions. The purpose of this interview is to share recent wins with sales partners in the channel to help other sales agents identify opportunities that they may be walking by today. This episode will help explain why the Granite solution was good for the sales partner and good for the client. Today, I'd like to welcome Chuck Kelley, the president of NAC Communication Consultants out of Panama City Beach, Florida. Chuck has been helping customers, MSPs, and VARs navigate the new world of telecommunications for over 23 years. Chuck recently closed a large multi-location deal for a large financial institution that currently has 33 locations in the Southeast. Chuck, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
No, thanks for the sale, man. Appreciate your business and introducing us. So let's talk about that. Briefly talk about the evolution of the sale. Why and when did you engage Granite on this deal?
It started off with the customer actually coming to us and looking for backup internet solutions for their locations. They already had dedicated circuits they had purchased, and they were able to get those down to 2 carriers. They knew that going with the broadband carriers are going to be a lot more than just 2 carriers to cover a large region. So they said, have you got anybody that can kind of put it all together? I said, sure. Got a great company, Granite. They're very good at sourcing out, checking locations, and then the pricing is very good. So we engaged Granite, got the team involved. As we were talking, they have a small IT team, 4 or 5 people that manage this stuff. So one of the things they have is we're worried about, what happens when that broadband goes down? You have to find somebody and you tell them to power cycle it, because 99% of the time, that's all you got to do with that modem. Trying to get somebody, an employee, to find out and explain to them where the modem's at, to get into the comm room, to make sure they don't unplug the wrong thing. So, hey, why don't we use an edge boot? Went into edge boots, gave them a great demo of that. They did a fantastic job on the demos, by the way. The system just blew them away. They're like, we want one everywhere. We actually have 2 locations that did not even get broadband that we still got the edge boots because they love them so much and how well they worked.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I know sales partners that are automatically adding edge boot to every quote that they do for any circuit. They're just adding it on. And you can take it off if you want, but it's just kind of a necessary thing now. It's incredible. So why was this project important to the customer at this specific moment in time?
One, in the Southeast, and we're in the panhandle of Florida, which, as you know, we've had a lot of devastation. So we have a lot of outages. They got to make sure they stay up and going for their customers. So this happened after our last year's hurricane sequences we had and bad weather. They realized that, hey, we have to have something really good here. The wireless backup they were using their own little cradle points. So LTE was not cutting it. It's not going to work. But they just didn't want to go through the headache of going through multiple carriers, and multiple people, multiple salespeople. So they came to us and we put together a package with Granite that really worked out for them.
That's incredible. It's a great fit for what Granite's doing. So, and you alluded to this before, but I wanted to ask you, what was it like working with the Granite team?
They're great. The people there are great. You need something, call them. If you don't have time to send an email, you're on the road, go and visit customers, pick up the phone and call them. They're great on answering the phone. They're great on getting your questions answered right away. They don't say, well, I'll get back to you and it's 5 days later. You don't know if they found an answer or don't have an answer. They actually respond, hey, I'm checking with this person. They're going to find out, or this person's calling you at this time tomorrow to go over all that with you. Really great communications. One of the things in the industry is, one of the bad things about communications companies, they don't communicate. Granite does. And that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's so true. I did a lot of business with Granite when I was at App Direct for my sales partners in the central and western United States. And I'll tell you, now being on the Granite team since August, I'm blown away by how effective they are in communication. I think one of the reasons why is that the average tenure of a Granite Channels employee is 12 years. They're trained, they're experienced, they know the importance, they know how hard it is to get a customer. So the whole fiber of Granite is communications. I love that.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Exactly.
Good job. Well, hey Chuck, let's close with something personal. I like to do that so people can get to know you a little bit better, and hopefully end users are going to be watching this and reaching out to you as well, bringing you some more business. But let's close with something personal. Why don't you tell the viewers a fun little known fact about yourself?
I love to fish. Saltwater fishing, of course, living in Panama City Beach. It's a great hobby, a great way to get out there and be honest with you, turn your phone off on occasion.
Yeah, for sure. What do you like to fish for specifically?
Redfish, speckled trout. We go offshore for a red snapper, grouper, so forth. So it's just a fun activity, and it gets you out out from around the world. We live in technology. We love technology, but sometimes you got to have that little break from it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have your own boat, or you charter, or what do you do?
I have my own boat. Yes, I do. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Hey, I'm so glad we finally found a time that worked for you. I know you're busy. You're writing a ton of business. You got an outstanding agency there. You've been doing it 23 years. Want to wish you continued success. So thanks for carving out time to be on Granite Channels Champions.
Thank you very much for having me, Steve.
My pleasure. Thanks for watching, everybody.